All right, guys. So, welcome back to Cinema Uncivilized. Today, we're going to be breaking down the nitty gritty of the movie No Other Choice. This is Park Chan-wook's most recent film that came out last year, did the rounds of the film festivals and award awards. I was watching this movie, and that was at the forefront of my mind the whole time. How did this movie get snubbed? Why did it get snubbed? Like, what's the process with that? I don't know.
Well,
I don't understand.
I've have you still haven't watched Decision to Leave, right?
I have that on my watch list. I
Yeah.
have that on my watch list, and I was planning on watching it last night, but I didn't get around to it. So probably within
hmm
next week, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I would highly recommend that one. I personally think that one's one of my favorite,
Yeah.
but that one as well didn't receive any Oscar nominations. Not even the not even for international feature film, right? So I read via comment that someone was saying he seems to be blacklisted because he was writing during the writer's strike.
Hmm.
And I guess that was a very big no-no for a lot of people that you should not have been doing that or someone's upset at him. But yeah, like in what world are these types of movies not valid for even a nomination? I know the feature international feature film, like it gets more competitive every year, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe Seurat gets left off, but I've heard good things about that one. But so you had Sentimental Value, The Secret Agent, and it was just an accident.
So with the international films you have seen that were nominated, let's
hmm
pretend that no other choice was like, how would you rank them?
Oh man, I haven't seen. Maybe we'll do this next week because I haven't seen. I want to see The Secret Agent. I want to see it was just an accident. Uh, I do
Okay,
think
right.
sentimental. I prefer Sentimental Value. I do prefer Sentimental Value over No Other Choice. But like No Other Choice is a very high quality movie.
Yeah.
Like it's better than most of the Best Picture noms,
Yeah.
right?
Seriously. This is a beautiful, beautiful film.
hmm
Stunning.
Yeah, you really took to it or you really loved it. So I'd love to hear, I guess, your first thoughts on like why this one for you, like as you were watching it, you felt that this is like awesome.
Yeah. I mean, right from the start, like I was, well, actually not right from the start. I would say maybe about 30 minutes. Not that I wasn't engaged from the very beginning, but like probably 20, 30 minutes, I was locked in. Like I was very interested and just excited to see how this story is portrayed and how it gets laid out. I just thought it was a very relatable film. It's just really interesting to see kind of how the human mind works and Park Chan-wook's portrayal of capitalism, corporate greed, all that stuff, and just we know what are you willing to do when you're back into a corner, right? Or what are you gonna do to survive, to be better than the next man, to do to take care of your family. Um, Everything from the plot to just the moral. Uh, what's the word? Just
Well, certainly, yeah, he's not morally correct, but
yeah, no,
you
like
understand a desperation and,
yes,
you know, I guess not to stop you, but sort of what I've been thinking about is just the relation to, especially even Canada, today's world of unemployment,
yeah,
where it takes a very much a mental toll, a hit on your self esteem, a hit like it
yeah,
sucks.
oh yeah,
So you continue, I guess, but we'll
yeah.
talk about that for
Oh
sure.
yeah. No, this is a huge, huge thing in this economy. Everyone's dealing with it, going to school and struggling to find work after. You do all these years of school, or maybe you are in in a career for X amount of years and you get laid off because of the economy or whatever reason, and then it's hard to maybe pivot into another career because you know
That's where
things
your
are
skills
just
lie.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's like this. Both these guys that were worked in the paper company, like that's who they identified as. They said, this is what's meant for me. This is kind of who I am and who I'll ever be. And so for them not to be working in that field was kind of non-negotiable. And it is interesting to kind of see the path that some people go through. And I see it with some people I know where they won't work just a job to pay the bills unless it's in, they won't work unless it's a job in their field. It's like, so they won't, you know what I mean? They won't take on any job. If it's not the job they want, then they're not working. And so that almost seems like the vibe that the main character,
Hmm.
Mansu was playing. He was unemployed for a very long time, and they were they were struggling financially because he wouldn't just get a job to pay the bills. Even though these other men that he was interviewing or quote unquote for his competition, they were, or at least the one guy was working at a shoe store. But anyways, just kind of just wanna, before I get into some nitty gritties, just wanted to overview of my thoughts. Just beautiful film, the color grading and just the way that the colors were so vibrant in
Hmm.
some of those shots. It was almost looked like a water painting. Um, Still, and the transitions. Oh my goodness, the transitions in this film are so good.
Yeah.
I love a movie with creative transitions. That's one thing I like as well too.
Hmm. A lot of interesting shots as well, just
Yeah.
things that change it up. There's not just like the same shot again and again. Very different things going on a lot of the time. I especially love. I was laughing too. This shot where he's running down the forest, and the wife is chasing after him, and she's so far away, but you feel the intensity of like, oh my gosh, she might catch up, and he's just trying to run as fast as he can in these rubber boots, and gets
Yeah.
get to his car. And we saw in the scene prior that he's not good at, like, he's not a smooth driver. That's what she said. So that was my first thought right away. I'm like, oh shoot, he's gonna mess this up and he's gonna like get shot or something.
And he's like screaming for his life.
Yeah, he's like, ah! Which I found, I'm like, yeah, like that's realistic. Like honestly, you
Yeah.
think you're gonna be like super
Yeah.
tough in the moment, but I've always said this to people. I'm like, once you're faced with, especially a gun as well, like once you're faced with a gun, you're willing to do anything like to survive because you're kind of like, shoot, yeah. People are
Yeah.
sometimes people are like, I'd be tough. I'd just slap it out of his hand or something. I'm like, no, you won't.
Well,
You'll see it unless you have the training.
yeah. No, it's true. Well, that's one thing I was really impressed with was how ballsy this guy was to just so quickly pull out this gun and point it at the person. I'm like, there's no way. Like, I guess he already made that mental decision that he was going to do that. But with his first interviewee or candidate, and with the guy and his wife in the house, I was surprised with how quick he pulled the gun there. And then with the guy in the shoe store on the side of the road, I was like, damn, no way this guy really just caught this guy like so quickly. And then even with the guy in the house too, um, yeah, just crazy.
I found it interesting because I thought it was pretty slow.
Oh,
Not like
really?
yeah, not like
Like
slow
you
in
felt
terms
the
of
runtime? Oh, slow taking the gun out.
yeah. Though it's
Okay.
yeah, it was not to say it was sluggish. I did think like not I do think it was a bit slower actually once he started interviewing them, if that makes sense. I thought it was actually like pretty snappy leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I did yeah, he like points at him for a long time. He just doesn't take his shot yet. And then he like takes off how many gloves and a wrap around it. Like I thought he was doing the oven mitt so that they couldn't see the gun. But I don't
Yeah.
know what was the point. Like he was trying to just hide it or something. Like anyway.
No,
Um,
this movie was funny. It
mhm.
was funny. Um,
Yeah, that scene
what
was funny as well.
what one scene that I laughed at was when he was kind of stalking the first couple, and they were having lunch in the forest on that little hike, and he just falls out of nowhere, gets bit by the snake.
Yeah, I
And
was surprised by that for a second. I was like, what happened? Why is
so
he?
did I. I was like, how did this guy just fall? But he got bit by a snake, and what was funny was her sucking the poison out. Like it almost seemed like she was enjoying herself a little too much.
And that's part of her character as well, right? She was
And
the cheating
he's
liar,
just
yeah.
sitting there.
And maybe he enjoyed it too. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, exactly. Gets the call from his wife. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Got bit by a snake. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he gets back home and she actually did like the complete opposite of what you're supposed to do when you get a snake bite. It said don't suck the venom out and don't put it over your head. You got to keep it lower. So she had the total wrong instructions.
Yeah.
Which to that I'll share a story. I got bit by a dog while I was in Ecuador. It wasn't a big dog. It was actually a small dog, which made it kind of lamer. But like made a bit of an indent in my like the back of my left leg, I believe it was. And I was with at the time who I was an older companion, so I was not like I didn't know what to do. I was maybe 6 months in, and so we get back home. I'm trusting that this guy knows what he's doing, and he put alcohol on it. It turns out you're not supposed to do that. So I had to like get treatment for it 2 days later because he did the wrong thing, and I got pissed at him. I'm like, well, like, dude, I'm like, you couldn't help me here. Like, you couldn't have. I know I should know as well, but like he seemed so confident. So I was like, okay, well, that's what we got to do. You put alcohol on a dog bite, and that's the wrong thing to do apparently. So,
Hmm.
or at least you have to do certain things before that.
Did you have to get
So
a rabies shot?
no, it had long socks and like it's long pants, right? So it just, if anything, was like a bit of an indent in my leg, but it wasn't like a full on tear bite or anything like that.
Hmm.
Otherwise, yeah, I'd need probably like stitches or something if that were the case. But yeah, just that sort of reminded me of people giving bad instruction on kind of like not life saving things, but because I don't know. I guess the snake bite, you guys just got to go to the hospital and you don't suck it out or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually a myth too. That actually doesn't work at all. I don't know if it maybe that maybe makes it worse, but it
Like
definitely doesn't
sucking it
help.
out.
Yeah, that doesn't actually happen. Once it's in your bloodstream, it's in your bloodstream.
Yes, that makes sense.
So, what were I guess like what were your initial thoughts watching this movie? Like, how did you feel? How did you like it?
I think I liked it very a good amount for
Yeah.
sure. I think, like I said, it's a high quality movie. So from the very beginning, you can tell the cinematographer, lighting, just all that, like the planning that goes into this, really showed on the screen. And I did look into it, and this was what he considered to be his magnum opus, Park Chan-wook. I said I'm a big fan of his movie Decision to Leave. I know he has other movies. Maybe I should watch those too. But he talked about this movie since about 2009, as I read. This movie is based off of a book called The Axe. And in this case, it's similar, where it's a guy, he was like a manager for a paper company, and paper company, and then he ends up killing 7 people that were in front of him. So
That's what the book is.
yeah, the book is
Yaks.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's similar, and it carries similar themes of like killing, or not. Well, yeah, that's part of it. But yeah, there's similar themes of
Murder.
of the, taking things into your own hands in sort of these pretty desperate scenarios, desperate times. What was another thought? Just the commentary on how the world of work is, and I guess you can pull from capitalism as well, and such themes as that. I'm sure if Drayton were here, he'd be diving right into that.
Oh yeah.
But I he wanted to take his time making this film because he thought it was that special, and so he even collaborated with the author, I believe, in making the script for this. The movie was actually even supposed to be originally like English made, like it wasn't going to be a Korean film. It was going to be directed by Park Chan-wook, but it was going to be in English. So I guess I'm happy it wasn't, in a way. Like I prefer this style that it proposed.
For sure.
I thought everyone does a good performance, especially the lead actor. And I guess I should pull up names just because I don't want to be uncultured.
I got it here. Yeah,
you
okay, go for it.
Let me do it.
If you click on his name, it shows you how to pronounce it, right?
Lee Byung-hun.
Yep.
And then Son Ye-jin, I believe. Okay.
Yep.
Those two were amazing, actually.
Yeah.
It's not really a chemistry thing. It was just both of them were very convincing as a like in their own right. Like I totally believe this guy was struggling for his unemployment, and he hated that fact, and he viewed himself as a lesser human being, which is kind of what the movie touches on. It's, how do you feel being at a level where you're unemployed? Like you feel like you're the lowest of the low. You can't help your family. You can't, like, there's a lot of you can'ts. And so I liked that aspect of it. And yeah, there's good comedic bits. Cinematography stood out. The music choices were fun too. I mean, I don't know any of the songs, obviously, but I thought they all worked well. I liked its sort of unpredictability as well. Certain things happen where you were not expecting that. I didn't think he needed to sniff underwear to see if his wife was cheating. Right.
Oh man, that was so good. I forgot about that.
Yeah, or they throw a twist where his son, who's not really his son, but by the way, he never shares that he is the father, or not the father. By the way, but anyway, like he robs this store, so that there's a whole other story into it. The not chainsawing these people up and doing this weird metal, like curling this guy up into a human ball.
Yeah, like that was good.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of things that happen that I didn't think the story would go this way. You think it's going to go a certain way, but
yeah,
it shows you something different. So maybe watching it a second time, it would solidify a bit more to me.
Yeah,
I would just say I didn't totally have the feeling of wow. I would say that I thought it was very good. I thought everything I've given compliments on, but I wasn't like pushed to the limit of like a 4.55 area where usually there's a bit more of like an emotional punch or just something that makes me go like, this is crazy or amazing. But I think everything is excellent, like very well done. That's how I would put it.
No, that's true. I agree. I like all these aspects. I was just super impressed. Like I gotta agree with being the unpredictability of it. Yeah, with the whole chainsaw thing, the gardening, and the hole, digging the hole, right? And with the cops coming, like, oh yeah,
no
one
questioned that.
Yeah. The cops walking by, he mutters, I'll tell everything at the station. Sorry, what was that? What did you say? I'm such a bad father. It's my fault.
Yeah, that's hilarious too, because he was asleep, right? So she wakes him up and says the police is here, and he's like, oh my gosh, well, they're surely here for me.
Yep. He's got the dead body in the trunk. In the trunk with the thing hanging.
And he was trying to like hide it, and yeah. I mean, I guess it wasn't like it would it stand out? Sorry, my throat's getting dry. But I've looked at or been in a lot of psychology courses where we talk about people really don't notice as much as you'd think they would. So I don't even know like if the cops would look at that and clearly they didn't, by the way. But they'd look at that and this like little piece of clothing is hanging out. I don't know if they'd think of anything of it because at the time they weren't even looking for a body. So I don't think they would be paying attention to that sort of detail.
That's true, but if you're a police officer, maybe these were just more so uniform police officers, but if you're a detective, your brain's going to be on
Yeah.
a more heightened level and you're going to remember things like that. There I don't think I think if a detective was to show like those two detectives that were there talking to him about, the missing people,
Hmm.
I think if they showed up at that time, they probably would have noticed those things. But like you said, they didn't have those intentions, right? So,
Yeah, they were just here to pick up a boy
yeah.
that stole smartphones.
Yeah. And another interesting fact too, like his wife there feels that the need that I'm gonna take my bra off and put some lipstick on to try to woo this
Seduce.
guy and
Yeah.
seduce him into letting my son get off easy.
Yeah, I actually didn't pick up on that until I read it on Wikipedia later. I don't know. I guess I missed
Really?
a minute or two.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, not the whole breast thing, but I missed
Sticking her tits out.
yeah, I missed like that he was the owner of the store.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. It was
And
his
it
own
was
story. It was his son.
yeah, and his own son. I missed out on that. But that's crazy. Like you're gonna steal phones from your dad. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if the son was doing that to sort of. Well, he knew that his dad was unemployed, right? So I wonder if he was probably just being a hoodlum.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think
'Cause-
the comment on that sort of storyline is that kids that come from situations where they see their family struggling tend to maybe get involved in bad petty crime or just like I mean even I mean they weren't that poor. Usually getting into gangs comes from like a real like poverty,
Yeah.
but he like sees his dad not working, they've given up a lot. He sees the struggles. You could probably notice that his parents' relationship is dwindling as well. So yeah, probably just seems like a good idea. Let's sell this. I can maybe kids that see their parents struggling have a bit more of a I want to get ahead mentality. And I guess what better way to get ahead than getting expensive cell phones and selling them? Because I mean, yeah, you sell them probably for less than what they're worth, but it was $0 technically for you
Yeah.
because you stole
Anything's a
them.
profit.
Anything's a profit. Yeah.
Question. Do you think that when the son saw that his dad in the greenhouse with the chainsaw, he didn't see a whole lot, but he saw a hand and he heard a chainsaw going with a bunch of tarps. So I'm sure he had some ideas while going around.
Hmm.
And it seemed that, seeing that he wasn't the same and he had to tell his mom. And so he told his mom, and I guess she did some investigating of her own, started digging up the tree, quotations. Uh, and she, do you think she knew that it was a human or because she said it was a pig? That's what she told her son. Do you
No,
think
she
that
knew. She
she,
knew.
she knew? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she was just trying to tell him.
Yeah.
But I mean, is that even like a thing? Like people put dead pig parts around a tree or something to help it grow? Because that's the way she sold it. Maybe that's a Korean thing. I don't know.
Well, I mean, when the the father was talking to his son, he was talking about gardening and how pretty much good things grow from right.
Okay. Okay.
So
So yeah. Okay. There we go. I believe you. But yeah,
yeah,
no, she knew, and her suspicions were there for sure.
yeah,
With the whole like, there were police coming and interviewing him, like,
yeah.
and
Well, and she was just standing in the background, right, kind of lurking. She
yeah,
knew.
and then she brings up after the dance where he's just been disappearing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. How could you get away with like? Yeah, I don't know how you would even get away with that. Like lying to your
Yeah.
wife like that,
Mm. And
disappear.
and she heard the paper like that they were paper people. I'm pretty sure. So that probably put it together too. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
And then yeah, her decision. So final message of it all is sort of the family aspect of pulling together, I suppose, and just being supportive, even if it's pretty negative what's going on. But like, I think she cared a lot about getting out of their situation as well. And so she was willing to do what it took to get out of their hole. I mean, she couldn't do her dance lessons. She went back to work. She couldn't do her tennis lessons.
Yep.
Her son is becoming a delinquent. Her daughter like needs more money to do the cello because she's a prodigy.
Yeah.
They're going to need to sell their house and move into a smaller. And you know, like as someone who's sort of entering this world now, I mean, I'm not buying a house, but I plan on moving into a bigger space. Like, I think it would suck if I would have to like go like revert down or like move down once you
Downsize.
get to a certain downside. Once you get to a
Yeah.
certain length, and you know that's just it, right? Like the beginning of the movie, they have this high of not just what they have, but the family. Like he hugs them for a minute, like a full minute. They have the two dogs. They're happy. They have these eels, which again are kind of like the kiss of death. It turns out. Now I'll know if I get treated too
Barbecued.
nicely. Yeah, if I get treated too nicely, I'll know. Um, yeah, the house is perfect. You know what pissed me off? When the guy comes in and is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tear down that greenhouse, the stupid greenhouse, and I'm gonna put in my golf course and my golf stuff."
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
the tea or
yeah,
whatever.
and I'm just like, dude, that like like that guy would kill him, right? Like that is crazy.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's more so the scenario of selling something you don't even want to, but out of necessity.
Yeah. And it was sentimental, right? Like he grew up in that house.
Mm-hmm.
They worked so hard to buy it back. And
Yeah.
so it was way more than just downsizing for them. It was sentimental. It was a family heirloom essentially too, like something that's in the family. They'll pass down to their children and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. So yeah, that'd be really, really, really hard to give up. And that was kind of a last resort thing. And I'm just trying to remember what point he was at before he had the idea of putting out that fake ad to see who
Oh,
his competition was.
he
What was he
was, like,
doing? Oh, that was
in
when
the
he was going to
bathroom.
kill. Oh wait, no. Wait. No,
Well, like
it was when he was going to kill that person, right? With the pot. Was when he was like, "Oh, I'm going to have this idea."
that was the third guy he ends up killing, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so that guy that he was going to kill
Yeah.
is the third guy that he got drunk with at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
then
he already kind of put it together who he was looking for, I suppose. But yeah, it was kind of random. He just kind of put it together and was gonna like follow this guy, and I don't think he knew how he was gonna kill him, but he sees like this rooftop with flower pots, and that was a heavy
Mhm.
one too, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a nice one.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, how good is his accuracy? What if he missed?
Oh yeah.
What do you do from there? And like the grandma or the owner of the house kind of killed me, getting up there and like, it is a nice spot, isn't it? After a while of like asking him questions, like, what are you doing? And he just never responded. She was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it is a pretty nice spot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that wasn't, that was a turning point for him, and clearly is very significant because that's also one of the, they advertised that shot in a lot of the cover art for the movie
Mm-hmm.
with him holding the pot over his head, water running down his face. He
Yeah.
he didn't have the balls to kill at that point. He wasn't desperate enough, right?
No, I do think though it's an emphasis on the real turning point where like
Yeah.
he's like, this is it. There's no other
Yeah.
choice. I have to
Yeah,
do this.
that's right. That's, we talked about this last week about the titles of movies being in the movie, and this
I
was.
did think about that when they said it.
But you
the
know
first
what?
time.
It happens a lot. And I think I'm just more aware of it now. But yeah, this was said a lot that they had no other choice. But we all do have a choice.
Absolutely. And that's the irony of it, that like you feel like there's no other choice because
Mhm.
you're so focused on it. But of course there's, we've said he doesn't have to work in the paper company, and I think I saw a video talking about that where like he feels this way because this is how, when you spend 25 years in something, you feel like this is the only way. This is surely like what I'm meant to be, as he said. But also, they talked about like the symbolism of paper, like just having a lot of paper, like money wise.
Yeah.
So this, I think that was like well, maybe the axe is the same. It has paper industry, but maybe this one as well, just like talking about like the amount of paper, like this is what I care about. Like just paper, money. But anyway, like you have a choice for sure. And he even quit his job at that grocery store, which I don't blame him, to go to that interview where it was just totally garbage.
Oh yes, was that for Papyrus? Or it was the one where he was interviewing and he had the sun in his light
Yeah,
in his
sounds
face.
like they weren't paying attention. It
Yeah.
seemed
Hmm.
they told him to prepare for the question where they ask like, "What's your weakness? Can we know your biggest weakness?" No,
None actually.
yeah,
That's my
no.
weakness is I don't.
It's like that's so pretentious. But also, I understand why it's kind of a dumb question. But I feel like the job I have now, maybe they ask that too. Like, what's your biggest weakness? And what would I say? I don't even know. I don't remember. I don't even know. I mean, I try talking about like humility. Like, I think what can happen, especially in my type of work, is that you kind of get overconfident. Like, you know what's going to happen already. But if you're not like always being steady and really reviewing things before you submit or share or upload, post, like you might make a mistake. And it's happened. It actually, like near the end of my co-op term, I made like a mistake, and like I had to keep resending emails, and it was kind of embarrassing because I kept messing it up. So it's something simple like that. It requires a lot of focus. So being like overly confident that you're so good at your job, and this can apply to anything, like being so like over in your head, like I'm so good at this, that like you actually will make a mistake because you kind of lose focus. So that's usually what I would share if it was like a weakness question or like what you would improve on. But it's a weird question nonetheless. I don't like it.
Hmm. Um, yeah, it's interesting like how much purpose a lot of like their careers give men, right? Like gives them purpose, identity. But you take
Hmm.
that away from them, who are they? And it seemed like this guy, he was very lost without his job. And my quote, I said, "What would Michael Scott do? What did Michael Scott do? Well, he started his own paper company, Michael Scott Paper Company.
Didn't last very long, but he
But they
did.
use it to leverage themselves into a better position."
Mm-hmm. That is true. And he did do that, right? I guess he gave himself a better opportunity at getting a job by, well, literally taking out the competition. But
Yes, that's right. So I'm just trying to remember. He got that. Who offered him that job to like overlook all the automated factory? How
I
did
think
he?
that one was oh no, wasn't it Moon Paper? Because
I'm
he
just
wanted the
trying
Moon
to.
Paper, and he said that Moon Paper was the only one that was making any money at the time, anyways. So I think it was Moon Paper, or Papyrus was calling as well. It's one of the two.
Yes. Yeah, I can't remember, but Papyrus. They were. I do remember that one guy was being interviewed by the cops because he was. They were going to hire the shoe guy, Papyrus, but
Yeah, and their second choice was the other guy. I think, or it was the other way around, one of the two. But the two guys were lined up for the job ahead of him, so he was correct. He was correct that they were going to get the job instead of him. Um, I was going to ask this because I maybe missed this, or I don't know. But there was a whole list of people, and he only selected a few of them, right? The three. Like, did he just assume that these were the only ones that really could beat him in terms of like expertise and stuff? Is that why he selected those three? Because he had a longer list of people or resumes that came in. So I don't know. I feel like that would probably be the case.
yeah, I'm sure he had some sort of filtering system, and he went through them based and judged them based off what he thought was a good
Like he'll get the job
evaluation.
over me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I want to touch on like kind of the ending scene in a way where it shows him he gets to work, he's celebrating, he's like, "Yes, I'm back," and it's just him and a bunch of robots.
Yeah.
I think that's a great commentary on what really is happening, where you're taking away, like, what are people supposed to do if jobs are being replaced by robots? They're not coming back. Like, jobs are not sprouting up from elsewhere, and so that's the world it's becoming. Like, people fighting to be in charge of robots essentially, and that could be the future for a lot of industries. I don't know where that leaves us. It's quite daunting and terrible that that's the case. I feel like the government needs to step in. And this comes to AI, this comes, just like the advancement of technology. Because as a business person, it totally makes sense. Like, I can get this machinery to do the work of, I don't know how many other employees I'd have to pay. I don't know how much salary. While in the end, like, for a machine, you get a fixed price, you pay for it, and then it, loses value over time, but you can sell it still probably if, like, it's not standard anymore. Anyway, just, I guess the point is that, like, it makes sense for businesses to make the switch. The only thing is that, like, the government should probably stand in, because what are their citizens supposed to do if there's no jobs? So, like, there's no stopping technology from advancing, but there's certainly has to be mandates or just laws that, you need to keep people employed. Otherwise, we will all get replaced by robots. That's essentially what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The tree, like, even the tree cutting scene at the very end as well. I mean, that was done by men at one point, taking an axe to a tree, just timber, all that, right? Now this machine, like, gets them and it's like shaves it, right? And there's one guy behind that. So you replace, I don't know how many jobs for one person to just oversee it, and that's one lucky guy. And then eventually maybe he'll get replaced too.
Yeah, just efficiency, right? We grow, we evolve technology. I mean, it is interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because that machine for the trees, it's a tool, right? But also AI is also a tool. And so it's a powerful tool. That's the only problem, is it's too powerful and there's not a whole lot of regulations on it. So
Yeah. Mind you, AI can still make a lot of mistakes. It's not totally there yet, but it could get there. So it's definitely something that needs to be addressed, in my opinion, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard this, but the Oscars came out with some new rules regarding AI.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so I just pulled it up here, and so it's saying for next year's Oscars, 2027, 99th Oscars, it says AI-generated actors cannot win acting Oscars, which is good because I don't know if you remember hearing about that one actor, AI actor, who was like potentially going to be getting roles, or no, was that a record singing deal? I think that might have been singing.
That is a problem, and, like, I won't even get into it because there's something that deeply upset me about AI music recently. But like, that's ridiculous. I mean, do people really just not care about what they listen to whatsoever? That's crazy. But continue, I guess, with the laws.
AI written screenplays cannot win writing Oscars. Scripts must be officially human authored. Performances must be demonstrably performed by humans with their consent. The Academy is not banning AI entirely from filmmaking, though studios can still use AI for de-aging, voice cleanup, visual effects, editing assistance, and production workflows.
Well, that still hurts, I guess, a lot of the visual effects people. But again, you have to get with the times. That's just it.
Yeah.
Like, and so there will be people that lose jobs still. There'll be less and less.
Yes, this is it here.
Yeah.
So I was right. Tilly Norwood. Do you remember hearing about that?
I think so.
AI actor model Tilly Norwood.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
What was I going to touch on? I just thought about something. Well, yeah, like, you lose. So many people, and I've been noticing on YouTube a lot of AI ads recently,
Oh yeah.
like totally AI generated, and it's like, bro, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
You know,
Just lazy. You can even tell when people make ads with ChatGPT too.
it's I mean, frankly, kind of embarrassing.
Well,
Like,
we talked about the Coca-Cola commercial, right?
yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
And but it's like small, and this is because small companies don't have the budget for a full-on commercial or ad,
Yeah.
and so they make an AI generated commercial, and that's more cost effective for them. But we talk about like it seems odd. It's like uncanny valley, of course, where we notice this is not real, and so for me at least, that has a negative effect. That's like, well, I don't want to buy from this company if this is what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, we've steered into this conversation. It is relevant to the movie
Mm-hmm.
because that's what happened, right? He got replaced, and you see what he got replaced with essentially when he gets the job, and it's you don't need that many people to work if you have these things that do it at a more efficient pace, 100%. So that's just the scary reality. That's what I got from the ending of the movie. Though I guess I'll ask, like, it seemed so pivotal that the daughter was willing to play cello in front of them. I don't know what that really signifies, if that makes sense. I think I'd have to think about that.
Like the fact that she wasn't willing to play in front of them, or that she was
That's
at the end.
at the end, yeah. At the end, she was willing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, what exactly? Because there's a reason for it, I'm sure.
For sure.
Because it goes on for a while too. But I'm not too. I'm sure I have a good idea about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't really thought about that too much.
Yeah, because it's a beautiful ending, and
It is, yeah.
he hugs the hug at the end, and just I think she says 1 minute, right? So
Yes. Oh yeah, that 1 minute thing, countdown.
yeah, count up.
Count up.
Yeah,
He
not
corrects her.
Because I guess the significance of that is that counting down is sort of like I'm waiting for it to be over, while counting up might be like more of a positive thing, ascension. I think that totally makes sense.
Makes sense. Awesome. Well, any last final thoughts before we wrap up? I think this has been a pretty fun conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess someone mentioned that he was his favorite director, Park Chan-wook, and so I would recommend him for anyone who hasn't seen this one or Decision to Leave. And as a matter of fact, if you've never seen Korean movies, like they for a long time have been sort of the other nation that like really holds the keys to like awesome movies.
Yeah.
I know Brazil might be catching up.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to watch. I should watch The Secret Agent. I should watch the one from the other previous year.
City of God too. It's Brazilian.
City of God as well. Spain as well has been phenomenal for many years. I know France and Italy always get mentioned as like smuttiness and stuff. So I don't totally know if I'll ever get on board with that. And then Joachim Trier is carrying the flag for Norwegian and just other such like I wouldn't say Eastern European, but definitely Northern European maybe film. So yeah, international films are definitely can be just as good. And that's the interesting part, right? Like when we are surrounded by the Oscars and just like mainly like United States focused award shows, like just having a category of best international film seems kind of like, yeah,
It's
these
not
guys
good
are to the
enough.
side.
Yeah.
Only Parasite has ever really won both like international film and then gotten to it. And I
Mhm.
think, yeah, it's just so undeniable that totally makes sense. But like maybe these award shows should just be open to just being award shows internationally, or there should be an international award show
Yeah, I agree.
where you can, because yeah, it feels like we're putting them to the side when in reality international films should be, and I'm sure most actors and such feel that way unless they don't, but like art is art, essentially. So I think it's a really good
But
time.
would you say that international films can still get nominated for the same categories though? Yeah.
But they kind of they're treated differently,
Yeah.
100%, in my opinion at least.
Yeah.
Because then why even have the international film category? I guess you're like highlighting maybe, and, giving them a chance. That's what I mean. Like, why is there needed to be a chance? So like, it's always going to be an American film that's like the top. That's what I'm kind of pointing out. Like,
Yeah. That makes
there's
sense.
it's like a slight at international film a little bit. Even like the Golden Globes, where it's supposed to be like surrounded by like foreign press or whatever. Like, there's still not that much recognition on the level. But anyways, I'll check it out. For me, Sentimental Value was the best like film that wasn't from the United States, or I guess North America for that matter. And I think it was worthy of more awards than it got. And No Other Choice being not nominated is a hindrance on the legitimacy of the Academy.
Seriously. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
There's other to say. I mean,
Yeah.
it's they again, like his previous film from 2 years earlier was not selected for any awards, and so that already for me years ago I was like, that's ridiculous, and now it's ridiculous again.
That is it. Like that's a snub. That's a snub
Yeah.
right there.
And
There's no other reason.
the
They had
TikTok page,
Yeah.
yeah, the TikTok page of the Academy Awards shared a clip of No Other Choice on their TikTok page, and all the comments were just like, "Oh, so now you like recognize the film?
Huh.
Like, why would you share footage and like highlight a movie that you don't consider worthy of nominations of any sort, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just weird."
Not cool. Do better.
Yeah, we enjoyed it for sure.
Also, we forgot to mention, some of his classics. Old Boy, The Handmaiden. I did watch that one because I wanted to watch this movie. Because that was his most recent film before this. Or no, I guess that Decision to Leave was his most recent, but The Handmaiden was good too. But have you seen Old Boy?
No, I've heard about it. Not that I don't have interest in seeing it. I just am aware of there's some dark stuff in it. So I've never quite been just like, all right, this is the time. I probably will have to just set aside a time at some point to watch it. But I'm aware of its like caliber of
Yeah.
yeah.
Of course.
I'm aware it's well loved. Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, Park Chan-wook, great director. Yeah, Korean film, South Korea. Their films are awesome. Definitely recommend anyone getting into film. Be willing to, as Bong Joon-ho says, if you can get over the fear or whatever it is of reading subtitles in a movie, once you are okay with that, that opens up the doors to a whole new world. So
I very rarely have seen a movie with subtitles that is truly bad. Like,
yeah,
usually there's good quality involved.
exactly. So we recommend and challenge you guys to go out and watch a movie that is off the beaten path, but also is foreign, because like we said, there's so much more, not so much more, but it's just so much good film and art out there that is not from Northern America. And so go out, show your support and love. And I think that wraps everything up for this week's episode on No Other Choice. But it's streaming on Mubi, or you can rent it on Apple TV or Prime. But go out and watch it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Cinema Uncivilized. We would love for you to comment. What's your favorite Park Chan-wook movie if you've seen it? If you have any recommendations of movies that we would like to review, let us know. Shoot us an email at cinemauncivilized@gmail.com. Keep posted on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Turn on your notifications so you can see when we post our latest episodes. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys. Thank you very much.